Good morning, all of you. I can tell you, going by the credentials and the confidence emanating from your brief introductory observations, we are next to none in the world. India is, in fact, a powerhouse of talent, and this is being evidenced here. Shri Sunil Gupta ji, 1987 batch, IS officer from IIT Kanpur. IIT has a lot of relevance going by all they have indicated. I got a feel with an input, it could well be Indian Engineering Service. Secretary INB, Shri Apurva Chandra ji, another IITian, 1988 batch. Sanjay Dwivedi ji, Ashish Goel ji, Rinku Pegu ji, and I must, going by the flavor of the batch, introduce you three of very distinguished members of your service who are helping me what I am. Shri Meher Singh, 2013 batch, Indian Information Service. Shri Rohit Kongandhi, 2018 batch, look in the rear. And Miss Rini Chaudhary, 2019 batch. And I can tell you the tremendous assistance I get from them is enormous. You are joining service at a time when our Bharat is on the rise as never before. Our rise is unstoppable, and this is global recognition. In the toughest time which the planet has faced in 100 years, India was supposed to be taking a big hit. How can such a large country deal with such a pandemic? We dealt with it more effectively than anyone else in the world. Information is not disseminated. 220 crore vaccine certification available on your mobile. It is not there even in the US. That is our achievement. During this period, the largest democracy could have the most effective mechanism to feed its people, more than 850 million people, with quality wheat, rice, and pulse. And it continues to do so. So while on one hand, we have everything to be proud of our civilizational history, we have everything to be proud of for what is happening during the times we are living. Just imagine an ecosystem growth, affirmative governmental policies that have enabled every young mind to fully exploit his and her potential. There are no constraints. India, therefore, is rightly reckoned in the world as a land of opportunity and land of investment. But all this can be muddied if our information mechanism is not strong. Imagine, and it will be fresh in your minds, when we were battling COVID, narrative was, where is COVID? It's a political tool to sidetrack the issues facing the nation. We all faced it. COVID did come. The government was right. How can your vaccine be effective? Why don't you get vaccines from outside? Those who advocated those vaccines are in the dock. And our vaccines have done magic to us. We help the world while helping ourselves. Maitri vaccine has been so effective. Therefore, the service to which you now belong is very critical. Everything can be whitewashed, can go down the drain if you are not vigilant. You would recollect in last decade or so, a narrative was set afloat by a global news house that seeks to lay claim on its reputation. And the narrative was that someone was possessed of weapons of mass destruction, and therefore there is a just cause in favor of humanity to take on. Things happened, no weapons of mass destruction. Now, if when India is on the rise, sinister designs are there to set afloat a narrative by free fall of information, we have to be alert. This is another way of invasion. We have to boldly neutralize it. We have to stir in us a spirit of nationalism. We cannot allow free fall of doctored narratives to run down our growth story on so-called reputations. Examine and you'll find those reputations are not firm. Those reputations have failed humanity in recent years. I would invite your attention, and the senior officials know it. Sometimes an industry is ruined because of dumping. For example, we have a car industry. A giant in the world can dump cars at a lower price. The industry will be ruined, and then they can walk out and we'll be nowhere. So we had a global concept of anti-dumping. Now they have taken recourse to another, dumping of information, which is untrue, information which has found no favor with the judicial system we have. Friends, this cannot be allowed. This is not expression. If you examine our Indian Constitution, every fundamental right is qualified. And qualified because we believe in our Bharat, we believe in our integrity, we believe in our nationalism. And that job you are required to do. You have now a more significant role than you ever had. The role of those engaged in your service could not have been more challenging. You are joining service at a time when the challenges are geometrically on incremental trajectory. In a split second, things get viral. You have to be alert. And I'm sure you must have been so trained to do it. No power in the world can be strategically potent, effective, unless it is backed by warriors of the kind which you are. You therefore will have to be real protectors of democracy and nationalism. People come to know what they are fed. By and large, we have easy methods of gaining information. Young boys and girls these days will Google and say this is what it is. Unmindful of the situation that it may be doctored, it may not be fully analyzed, and therefore a vicious tendency has grown, particularly amongst so-called intelligentsia in our country, that anything coming from outside is sanctified, elevated, coming from minds that have to be respected. We have to question it. We cannot allow iconic status to develop by event management. And that is your tough job. The people here are very experienced. You have had the benefit to get their guidance, get their mentorship. I have been for some time involved because of my professional working with global entities, including International Court of Arbitration and ICC outfit at Paris. I got a lot many people talking to me from all over the globe. How come Indian mind immediately absorbs something, doesn't analyze the vituperative campaign, vicious mechanism, pernicious design to set afloat a narrative to run down the growth story of this country, all in the name of freedom of expression. Freedom of expression is valuable, inalienable, and no country in the world has respected it more than we have done in this country. And that is why, when we had the dark chapter of emergency, the darkest chapter of Indian history, and that was the time when judiciary was also in the dock. 9 high courts of the country held fundamental rights have to be respected, notwithstanding imposition of emergency. The Supreme Court, in case that goes by the title ADM Jabalpur case, unsettled the verdict of 9 high courts. It was too late. The 2 of the honorable judges who were part of that bench regretted the decision. And they regretted the decision in public domain. The then Chief Justice Chandrachud said so. Another illustrious judge, Justice Bhagwati, he said so when he turned 90 years of age. We no longer have the luxury of delayed response. If something is wrong, if there is invasion in the name of free expression, of doctored information, found by the highest court to be factually untenable, and this is sought to be made a narrative, we have to do our duty. I would therefore appeal to you. You have daunting credentials. You could have made a great career anywhere. Corporates can magnetically involve you. You have to stick here. Fiscal rewards may not be matching, and you don't have to go beyond this room. 2 of the finest brains here could have made millions and billions, but they were engaged in service of the nation. 1987 batch IIT Kanpur graduate, Sunil Kumar Gupta, and 1988 batch, IIT, am I right, sir, Delhi? Apurva Chandraji. Why? The dignity which they have, their peers are not possessed of that. Therefore, take pride in your nation. Be proud of attainments and accomplishments of Bharat, and indicate you are integral part of the great mechanism and machinery that will take Bharat to those heights. We are in that Kalkhand where we will lay foundations of what Bharat will be in 2047. All of you will be in very critical positions. It is your hard work, your directional approach, your dedication that will define where Bharat will be in 2047. I have no doubt. I'm a product of education myself. I have no doubt. I am amazed at the kind of credentials you bring on the table. You will ever make your parents, your friends, your society proud of your achievements. I wish you the very best for being part of this service, and the service is next to no other service in contemporaneous times. Thank you so much.